No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, hey everyone, Gaijin Goombah here.
Oh, so you're taking the reins back, Mr. I just want to edit now? Also, nice to wear the hat again after 4 freaking years of not touching it, by the way.
They just... Sorry everyone, but ever since our patrons decided that we should look at Pokemon's premier shinobi character Koga for Witch Ninja, we've been at a bit of an impasse.
Impasse nothing! You're so wrapped up in appearances, you're neglecting what makes this goober an absolute chat of Pokemon Ninja.
You did not. What, again? What is it with you and these furniture sponsors as of late?
Says the guy with exactly 1 armchair in his living room. Look, Helix liked working with us so much they wanted to do multiple sponsorships. In fact, they even wanted a spot with Glitstock over on your channel.
Whoa, you kids won't.
Not now, Glitstocka. Look, you gave your last Helix mattress to your friends for Christmas, and you've been complaining about your old mattress having no support for weeks now. Helix wanted to work with us one more time and send over a new mattress, so I took the liberty of filling out your sleep test and hooked you up with a new, more supportive mattress.
What do you know about my sleeping habits?
Back inside sleeper, firm feel preference, occasional back pain, average hot sleeper. Did I miss anything?
No. Go ahead.
Now go pull it out of the box, sleep on it, and tell us how it felt.
6.5 hours later.
That was really good. And no, I'm not just being coy. I guess Lil G really does know me because with the Helix Twilight Luxe mattress that was suggested after taking the Helix sleep test, for the first time in months, I had a deep, full, uninterrupted 9 hours of rest. And no, I'm not playing this up, I'm being 100% serious.
Man, it's almost like we're the same person or something.
Anyway, I'd forgotten how freaking convenient this whole process was too. Not only is that sleep test quick yet effective, the size of the box that my queen-size mattress came in was shorter than me and about as wide as me. Yeah, that thing has a queen-size mattress in it, and it's delivered right to your doorstep at no extra shipping cost to anyone in the US, by the way. And once you get the box in the door, just walk it to whatever room you got a frame in, pull the mattress out of the box, cut open the vacuum seal packaging, and just watch that sucker puff up. But do be careful, don't be like me and try and open this thing with a bunch of easy to knock over stuff around. Then slap it on your bed frame and wait a bit to let it air out, and you're done. And the Helix Twilight Luxe is absolutely firm enough to give me and my wife the back support that we both badly need as we get on in age. But the extra Tensile top layer gives the bed just enough plush to give the mattress just enough softness to not feel like we're sleeping on a brick. If you need any, and I mean any kind of bed of any size for any size of person, you cannot go wrong with Helix. So, if you're someone in need of a good night's sleep and want to take advantage of our 27% site-wide President's Day sale just for you guys, hit on my link in the description, take the sleep test for yourself, and never toss and turn in your bed for hours again. Every mattress has a 100-night sleep trial to make sure you're 100% happy with your purchase, and each comes with a 10-year warranty.
So, now that you're not so groggy, do you still want to say that Pokemon's Koga is a terrible ninja?
Yep. Listen, I'm old enough to clearly remember when Pokemon Blue and Red released in the States. I remember seeing them on Toys R Us shelves. But no amount of nostalgia is going to convince me that this guy is historically or culturally driven as a pop culture ninja. Look at him. I mean, like, actually though, Koga's design is in this weird, constant state of palette swapping. In red and blue, he wore dark purple with red accents and no mask. In yellow, he was in black with red accents and a bright red Zukin. In gold and silver, his sprite may have been solid purple, but his heart gold and soul silver design was this mashup of like purple accents, armored shin guards, and that freaking red Zukin. And finally in Let's Go, he's vested with various shades of purple, fishnet undergarments which is supposed to mimic Shinobi Kachu armor, which Ninja wore sparingly at best. And finally, after all this time, Koga finally decides to actually wear that red Zukin that he's had around his neck for the better part of a decade. The great irony here is that the only time I would even consider Koga's attire to even be moderately appropriate was during the 90s anime where he was actually wearing blue. And y'all know what we say about that.
Real Super Blue!
Now, putting aside Koga's outfits for a minute, let's talk about his mannerisms. This man is forever gesturing the stereotypical two-finger ninja pose, which, to my understanding from Junichi Kawakami, is exclusively used for shinobi mudras like the Kuji-in, where the two fingers represent a sword, and the 9 words are accompanied by 9 cuts that invoke the protection of the Deva Marishiten, a process called Kein-in, which is to make the Kuji-in easier to execute, as the OG Kuji-in is rather complicated to pull off. But Koga and every other generic pop ninja I've ever seen, they just constantly have their fingers in this position for no adequately explained reason. It's just taking a generic shinobi concept with zero context and basically bastardizing it for the sake of a shorthand, which, yeah, that makes him a pretty garbage ninja in my book. And then there's the way that Koga talks, and this guy, oh lord. Not only does he always open up with a loud chuckle, but he is constantly bragging about what he can do. And for anyone that's even done a tertiary glance at the Bansenshukai, one of the only historical documents we have on Koga and Iga Ninja, humility and duty were paramount to the correct mindset of the shinobi. Not to mention, Koga goes out of his way to completely bluster about how exactly he's going to defeat the player in combat. Yeah, good job giving away your tactics, you dingus. Quick side note, it always cracks me up that in the Let's Go series, he always disguises himself as the champ in the making guy who's at the entrance of every gym, and then decides to drop a Bunshin no Jutsu for no adequately explained reason, again, like the guy is flexing. But I hate to tell ya, ninja don't flex, they do the opposite of flex. They keep a low profile. Cause when your enemy knows exactly what you can do, if they're smart, they'll take advantage of it. As for more auxiliary things about Koga that drive me up the wall in terms of being a ninja, let's go back to the anime for a second with the episode Ninja Poka Showdown. Credit where it's due, Ash and the gang are looking for the Fuchsia Gym, with Misty stating,
I can't believe there's a gym out in the middle of nowhere like this.
And fair, both Iga and Koga are nestled between mountain ranges and extremely rural. Like, I've been to Iga myself, and yeah, it's pretty out in the middle of nowhere. But not too far in, the gang enters the manor that makes up the gym and finds themselves hitting trap after trap, with some being more deadly than most ninja trap houses that I've seen, while others simply never existed in a shinobi abode. Glass was not exactly readily available in 1600s Japan. Look, there were ninja domiciles that were full of tricks. There were Donden Gaishi walls that made for easy escapes. There were Keikai no Ba peeping holes. There were Shikake toll trick doors leading outside. There were Monokakushi hidden holding areas. But there were no trick glass walls, or, most of all, explosive-laden floors and ceilings. Seriously, no one rigs their own home to explode, let alone put a minefield in it. Finally, 2 words that got me shaking my head when it comes to Koga. Pokeball, Shuriken. You know what this reminds me of? Like the flamboyant clothing, the bombastic attitude, the bastardization of shinobi practices, tools, and domiciles. It feels like Iga. And I mean modern Iga, and not counting the Iga Ninja Museum, because at least there I got to see artifacts and I learned a whole heck of a lot. I mean everything else in Iga. From the shinobi trains, to the ninjification of everyday commonplace concepts like signs and whatnot, to the colorful, cute Iga mascots, to the hidden ninja dummies that can be found literally all over the city, to the mandatory Moe Girl mascot that's mandatory in everything in Japan these days, to Ninja Elvis. Yes, Ninja Elvis, did I stutter? And before anyone gets up my backside that I'm raining on people's parade, no, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. It's cute, it's charming, it's absolutely worth a smile, and really it's kinda cool. But it's not historical. And that's kind of the point of this whole show, isn't it? Koga feels like an Iga tourist trap, a thick layer of stereotypes and bombast that blindly borrows from ninja concepts, yet does nothing inspiring with them. It's like a ninja funhouse experience wrapped up in a single character, lacking in fundamental historical or cultural concepts that would make a historical accurate character!
You done?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. My turn. Now, I'll give you that you're not entirely wrong about Koga design-wise being a bit of an overhyped and stereotyped ninja, but there's a bit of nuance to his name that you've completely overlooked. Koga is not Koga in Japan. And you'd think he would be, considering the implications of his name being taken directly from one of the most well-known ninja clans in the country, but Koga in Japan is called Kyo. And I'm using this particular kanji here, meaning apricot, rather than any other for a few reasons. One is that apricot seeds are absolutely packed with amygdalin, which when consumed can cause cyanide poisoning within the body. Now, Ninja worked with what they could get, and one of the best ways of getting poison was obtaining them naturally through poisonous plants and seeds, with strychnine being a favorite poison of Ninja due to its availability with seeds. And what is Koga/Kyo the elemental gym leader of? Yeah, poison. Secondly, his daughter Janine's Japanese name of Anzu has the kunyomi pronunciation of apricot, while Kyo is the onyomi pronunciation. Please don't ask me the difference between the pronunciations, we're gonna be here all day if I have to explain it. So, while Koga may be a bit of a bastardized goofball of a ninja, he's got some real ninja inspiration behind him, but that's not even close to what makes this guy a true shinobi. What makes him a true Mononofu is his choice of Pokemon and their abilities. See, if Koga's Pokemon loadout, even back in Gen 1, was as commercialized and stereotyped as Ninja as his design was, you'd think he'd have Pokemon like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and other martial arts related Pokemon, right? But no, the dude rolls out 2 coughing, a muck, and a wheezing. Seemingly fairly un-ninja-like, right? But it's not the Pokemon themselves that are supremely ninja, it's the strategy. The strategy that Koga goes on and on bombastically about in every generation of Pokemon he's in. With Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 being the outlier, in every generation of Pokemon, Koga is about 2 things: poisoning the opponent's Pokemon, and either having Pokemon be ultra evasive or incredibly tanky, with most of his Pokemon being the former, with only his Muck and Coughing/Wheezing being the latter, with Muck having a high special defense and Coughing/Wheezing having a strong physical defense. Now, what have we always said about historically accurate ninja? They do not fight directly. Heck, Koga even says in Gold and Silver that there's more to fighting than direct brute force, and his Pokemon choices show that strategy. But the moveset of each and every Pokemon has hints of real historical shinobi inspirations behind them. Allow me to go through a few of Koga's roster lists of Pokemon, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. In Pokemon Yellow, Koga has 3 Venonat and a Venomoth, and all of them have Toxic, a poison move that does more and more damage over time, but these 4 also have access to Psybeam and Supersonic, 2 abilities that either have the chance to cause the Confusion status effect, or just guarantees the effect. And unlike Stun and Sleep, Confusion stacks with the Poison status. Thus, the ideal situation is that an enemy is having its HP sapped away by Toxic, while also negating enemy attacks and even causing self-harm with Confusion. Now riddle me this: if a ninja is caught and comes into conflict and must fight, what do you think they're gonna do? Cause confusion. And there's a multitude of ways that ninja can do this, such as hitting an enemy with a Metsubushi Bomb to blind them, or a Bakuchiku Firecracker to overwhelm them audibly. Best case scenario for a ninja in combat is to hit their opponent with a confusion-based jutsu and follow that up with a debilitating poison. Maybe not to kill per se, but at least disorient them. And ninja have access to a lot of different toxins. And while the enemy is in a pain stupor, the ninja escapes. And Venomoth especially has a jutsu-inspired ability to do exactly this: Double Team. Described as a move that, quote, creates illusionary copies to raise evasiveness. Dude, that is literally what the Bunshin no Jutsu is all about. Whether it be straw men dressed as the ninja, multiple ninja wearing the same outfit, or moving so fast that a flashbanged enemy would be seen double, a ninja being able to split into multiple different individual forms was an actual jutsu concept with Shinobi. And this is just the beginning. Let's look at Koga's Muck from, well, every freaking generation of Pokemon. Now, each one of these Mucks not only has the Toxic move, you know, that ability that causes poison damage that hits harder and harder over time, but it also has Minimize. And you might be thinking, that's a really weird ability to give a Pokemon like Muck, who's already tanky as heck. But if you look at it from a Shinobi mindset, it makes all the sense in the world. Because what does Minimize do? Quote, it minimizes the user's size to raise evasiveness. Man, I wonder if there's a jutsu out there that we've talked about at length on this show that does exactly this. Yeah, the Uzuragakure no Jutsu. Seriously, it's a direct connection. The whole idea behind the Uzuragakure is to ball oneself up as small and as tight as possible while limiting breathing and keeping one's heart rate down. By doing so, as long as you have the right colored Shozoku on, in at least low light condition, the jutsu was developed to make the ninja not only look smaller, but also harder to detect, as they may look like a large rock or a bush in a garden or out in the woods. In rural Japan, this was incredibly effective. But again, it's from the same principle. Reduce size to be more evasive. Or let's take a really oddball Pokemon choice here. Fortress from Gold and Silver. This thing is Bug Steel, not a hint of poison type to be found. But cast your eyes right down here. Spikes. And for those of you that prefer the remake, how about Heart Gold and Soul Silver? Well, now Fortress has Toxic Spikes. Now, what does this move do? Well, Spikes is an ability that, quote, sets spikes to hurt a foe switching out, and Toxic Spikes, quote, lays a trap of poison spikes at the foe's feet. They poison the foes that switch in a battle. My guy, this is literally Pokemon-style Makibishi, a kind of shinobi caltrop that was made either with metal, or more likely, an organic dried-out chestnut, scattered on the ground to discourage enemies from chasing said ninja, or more realistically, to be set up at various exit paths that only the ninja would know as they escaped. And I wouldn't be surprised if these were occasionally poisoned with strychnine or other well-used toxins of the shinobi. Buddy, I could do this all day long. Koga's coughing and wheezing having smokescreen mirroring the concept of Intol no Jutsu, the use of smoke bombs like Torinoko to create a smoke screen to prevent a ninja from being seen, or wheezing self-destruct or Fortress's explosion which, hello, Horokuhiya bombs, grenades the size of your fist which explode with shrapnel, causing injury alongside visible and audio confusion. However, this video's getting kinda long and I think I made my point.
Yeah, you have. I don't know, what do you think, gang? I'm actually kinda torn here. On one hand, Koga himself is about as stereotypical and gimmicky as a pop culture ninja can get, but maybe his Pokemon moveset and strategy is kinda on point when it comes to how shinobi deal with conflict. Poisons, escape techniques, etc. I'm legit curious what you think. Is Koga a good ninja, or is he just as gimmicky as modern Iga's tourist attractions? Let me know in the comments below, and a big thank you to Helix for sponsoring this video. Use my link in the description to get 27% off the best sleep you'll ever have, and a much bigger thanks to my patrons who have been with us for near a decade at this point. I really was thinking the popular consensus here was gonna be a Witch Ninja on Psylocke from Marvel Rivals, but y'all never cease to surprise me in what you vote on, so thank you for that.
And if you want to learn even more about Japan through your favorite anime, games, movies, and more, sub up, get notified, and until next time everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah, signing out.